Hi. Hi. Hello. Happy New Year. I'm Amanda, as you know. And I've been getting, this is a total question and answer day. So I'm just taking questions, and I've been scouting Facebook and emails that come in and just thinking about what you might want to know that's really on your mind the most. A lot of people have been diagnosed with POF, premature ovarian failure. It's not a nice thing to be diagnosed with. I had the same situation. And there are 6 symptoms of premature ovarian failure. Number 1, and you may have all of them, or you may be at different stages of healing and may not have them all. But let me list them, and maybe if you have a pen, you might actually want to write these things down. So number 1 is hot flashes. Hot flashes can be mild, can be severe. Hot flashes day and night, maybe, or maybe just showing up and then going away and coming back. But hot flashes are part of the mix. Along with that is low cervical mucus and low sexual fluids. For some people who have very dry sexual fluids, sex might even be painful, and your partner feels uncomfortable too because he knows that it's not comfortable for you. And along with that comes low libido. So the dry cervical mucus, sexual fluids, low libido is kind of all one symptom because it all works together. If you're dry, your body is like, I don't think we want to do this. So you think you have low libido, but it's actually your body saying, let's just wait on this one. The next one would be the no cycle, that you haven't had a cycle maybe for a month or two, maybe for a year or two, maybe it comes once in a while. So the cycle is the issue. And of course, everyone focuses on that because everyone is aware that if you don't have a cycle, it's very rare that you get pregnant. It can happen, but very rare. And then tandem to that comes low AMH, anti-Müllerian hormone, and high FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. And when you're in the presence of a doctor, the doctor takes a look at this whole mix and says, and you might only be 35, or you might be 48, you might be somewhere in the middle, you might be later or earlier, and the doctor says, I think you're in menopause. You're on your way to menopause. You don't have many eggs left. If you have eggs left, they're poor quality. As you age, your eggs get worse and worse and less, and you begin to feel like an old prune. And then he tells you, or she tells you, well, but you could do egg donor. But you see, one of the other symptoms of premature ovarian failure is low energy, especially in the late afternoon. So now you have the mix of all these symptoms. And you're sitting there, and what happens with most women that we speak with is that they're just focused on the period, on getting the menses back. And they think if they haven't had the menses back, and nothing's working, and the herbs aren't doing their job, and why am I doing the Radiant energy exercises, and what is this thing, and how could it possibly work? I joke with some people, because I used to sing in my first incarnation, and I said, I'm going to make a song, where's the menses, where's my period? Because that's the only thing that goes on in your mind when you haven't been given any more information about what's possible with premature ovarian failure. The truth is that this is just an imbalance. Western medicine loves to slap a label on us. We have premature ovarian failure, we have IBS, we have fibromyalgia, we have the labels come and come and come. And then you take the label and you go on the internet and you see what you can find out. But the truth is your body is always trying to balance, trying to heal. And it is an incredible healing machine. You just have to kind of get it going and then know what to look for to know things are happening. I'll give you an example of someone I was speaking to just a couple of days ago, Emily. And Emily got pregnant with our program. She started with us about a year ago. And when she started, her FSH was 65, Her AMH was 0.1. She was told she had to do egg donor. She was dry. She didn't have much cervical mucus. In fact, it was painful when she was making love. And she was very depressed, but she kept going. She did the Radiant 8 energy exercises every day. She did the hot water detox once a week. She did these little things that we teach you to do that we know that your body will respond with and will speed your healing. She did them all every single day. And what happened? Well, during that, took her almost, I guess, a year, maybe 9 months. During that time, she started feeling so good. She had energy that she hadn't had for years. And she just had a sense of well-being. Her cervical mucus and sexual fluids had come back, where her husband was the first one to notice. He said, oh boy, this is really different. Her hot flashes diminished and eventually completely went away. Those two things sort of happened together, which is what happens. And then she went to see the doctor again just to check and see what was going on. And her FSH had dropped to 10. They said they would be happy to invite her to do an IVF if she wanted to do it. But she gave it a little more time, maybe another month. I don't think it was any longer than that. It might have been a couple of weeks later she found out she was pregnant naturally. So what happened? I mean, she was told her hormones were out of balance. And I don't know about you, but when you don't know anything about the possibilities of Chinese medicine and changing the way your body's working, when someone tells you your hormones are out of balance, you feel the hormones drive everything in the body, and you are just in the center of the road with a Mack truck coming at you. That's how you feel. But the fact is, the truth is, only you can change your hormonal levels. She changed her own hormonal levels. The doctor didn't do it. Reading an article didn't do it. Doing the program, taking the deep nutrition of the Chinese fertility herbs that we offer you, and combining that with these simple techniques, energy techniques, that help to activate the body's own ability, own capacity to conceive naturally, took time, but it worked. And this is what happened. She changed her own hormones by changing how she felt. So let's take a look at it, because when you are healing, you don't want to just feel like there's an end game way at the end where you get a cycle again, that there's an end game that you get pregnant. You want to see markers on the way. You want to see, okay, I don't have my menses yet, but look, this happened. And you want to celebrate each one of those markers and know what they mean for your body. So the first marker, if you're having hot flashes, is to bring down the hot flashes. Because guess what? And this makes total sense. The hot flashes obviously are heat. The body has more heat, an unnatural amount of heat. And what does heat do to fluid? Dries it up. So the body, the cervical mucus, the sexual fluids are dry. This is one of the main reasons you're not having a period. If you had a menses right now in the middle of all these hot flashes, oh boy, those hot flashes would get even worse. Because when the body doesn't have enough of the clear fluid that we call essence, we consider that clear fluid the fluid of your sexual fluids, your cervical mucus. And I also consider it the fluid that is in the ovaries that create an environment where your eggs, which I know and science knows now, are not gone. They're simply hibernating, where those eggs will come out and you'll see more follicles dancing and your AMH will come up. But you've got to have that fluid. So when that fluid, that essence, the clear fluid in the body is low, if you were the body and you needed more fluid, what'd you do? What would you do? You'd hold on to the blood. So you don't want the period, because the body is using that fluid to try to help protect you from this unnatural heat that's going on. So you take the herbal formulas that help to bring down the heat, the herbal formulas in the startup programs for AMH, for FSH, for egg health. All of these are herbs that help to build fluid at the same time bringing down that heat. So in the first month, if you see a difference in your hot flashes, then you know you're on the right track. You know you're healing. And it's kind of like pushing a snowball down the hill. Sometimes it just takes time for the hot flashes to go. One of the testimonials that we have, one of the success stories, is a woman named Akia. And she had hot flashes. She was actually the first person that we helped in this way. Way a long time ago. She called me at 23 years old. She was told she was in menopause. She was having hot flashes day and night. She had those hot flashes day and night for 10 years. She didn't find us and call us until she was 33. And it was kind of early in the business, so I knew how to tell what her body wanted, but I didn't know if it was possible for me to help her have a period again, or have and get rid of the hot flashes. And so she said, "Do you think this will work?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, but I know what your body needs. So let's listen to your body. Let's listen to what it's telling us, and let's follow that path." So we started taking herbs to clear heat and build more fluid, and her hot flashes within the first month began to get less. But you know, they just wouldn't completely go away. She had to fight them on and off. That's how she felt. For about 5 months. It took 5 months for her hot flashes to completely go away. Now, I've never had another person where it took quite that long. But the thing is, sometimes it does take time. So then it took her 5 months for the hot flashes to go. And then she had an FSH. I think her FSH was 95. I'm pretty sure. You can check me. 95 was her FSH. At that point, I don't think they were testing AMH, but her 95 was her FSH. And when the hot flashes were gone, but she still didn't see a cycle, even though she felt like it was coming, it wouldn't come. She went back to see that same doctor, the same doctor where she had cried uncontrollably when she was told she'd never have a child at 23. And the doctor found that her FSH had dropped to 7. And the doctor said, "Oh, don't worry about your period. I can give you some progesterone and we'll bring it on right away." And Akia said, "No, I think I'm going to wait." And 2 weeks later, her cycle came back. Her husband helped support her through this whole thing. There were many times when she wanted to jump off the boat. But he said, "No, keep going, keep going. We don't want to do the IVF if we don't have to." Well, long story short, they went on to have a number of children, not just one. And after she had the first one, she never needed to come back again to have any help from us at all. Her body was so balanced that she just, when the time was right, had another child. So this is the path that you're on. It's not, yes, you would like to have something that immediately brings your cycle back. You'd like to have something that immediately gets rid of your hot flashes. But the fact is that what you're doing is putting your body back in balance. And only you can do that. The doctor cannot do it. And taking estradiol or taking exogenous hormones that come from the outside, are not going to give you true balance for the body to go forward with. This is what you're building. It took a long time for you to get where you are. It didn't happen overnight. It came from meeting the challenges of life and the stress, etc. And you were burning down some of this deep energy and the fluid and the moisture that you need for fertility. So be kind to your body and give it time to heal. So number 1 is the hot flashes. We want to get rid of the hot flashes. We want them to come down. And at the same time, we want to be building cervical mucus. Think about it like this. When a car's coolant is low, what does it do? It overheats. And so this is your body. And when your coolant is low, you overheat. It's very simple. You're not in menopause. But you could be 25 years old and get hot flashes. And if your hormones were listed as, high FSH, low AMH, the doctor would take those statistics, compare them with somebody who was menopausal, and say, "Oh, so you're in menopause." The truth is that you're not. And you can prove that you're not, because first you can get rid of the hot flashes. Okay, so fine, maybe you don't even have hot flashes. The next stage is that your energy was going to start coming back. You're going to feel more energy. And there's a particular time of the day when you want to notice if you're having a drop in energy or not. And that's between 3 and 5 in the afternoon. Normally, if someone has premature ovarian failure, they also have a slump of energy about that time. You may not notice it as a slump of energy. You might notice it as a yen to have some sugar or something or some tea to keep you going. But that 3 to 5 in the afternoon is your fertility time. The deep energy reserves that you need for strong fertility are, if they're a little bit weak, that shows up with that symptom in the late afternoon. So if that is one of your symptoms, until it goes away, and this may only take a couple of weeks to get rid of, take your herbs in the morning, and then take your second dose between 1 and 3. If you forget, just take them at night. But this will help that part of your healing to go faster. All right, the next thing is, let's see. So high FSH, no FHA. I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything that we've talked about. Okay, so the 4 steps to healing are the more moisture, the less hot flashes, then to go to no hot flashes. So you go from less to no. And when you have no hot flashes, now your body's going to start building back the blood. In this first stage, even though you can't have a menses yet, your body still needs, you still want to be building blood, eating the best cooked greens, eating lots of greens and salads, having spirulina, adding some of these micro algae into your diet that are so high and such incredible blood builders, so that you're building this blood. And also these vegetables are anti-inflammation, so they help to bring down the heat. So you're working with both things, because at this point the hot flashes are gone. Now you want to be building more blood. At this point, you're going to shift your formulas. Your formulas will move into more blood building formulas and not as much what we call essence building formulas, and not so much clearing heat. So you'll be building more blood. And that helps to bring the period on. Also, if you have no menses and you have the fertility massage, you want to do the fertility massage at a certain time every month. Because if you haven't had a menses, first of all, the muscles in the reproductive area are tight. If you haven't been exercising, your muscles get tight. So the fertility massage is very important for you to do. Castor oil packs are also very helpful. Anything that can soften that tissue and help that area relax. Now you want to do the fertility massage every single day, 1 week of the month. And if you don't have a menses, you know, women's menses kind of go with the full moon or the new moon. Don't you know, when you work with people in an office, you end up kind of having your cycle at the same time they're having their cycle. So there's these certain rhythms that the body feels, and the body knows the cycles of the moon have a great effect on our menses. So what you do is you find out when the full moon is, whatever month you're in, and then that's the week that you include, that's the week of your menses. The week after that is the week you do your fertility massage. It's only 10 minutes. You do it every single day. So now the body's getting the rhythm. It's getting the beat. It's like, oh, yeah, there was a rhythm to what I was doing with you. And it begins to get that rhythm in. And you start that even before your hot flashes are gone. You start to relax the muscles of your reproductive system, and you start to help more energy and blood flow to the uterus because you're healing. So once the hot flashes are gone, the menses still haven't returned, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, the hot water detox once a week, everything that we ask you to do, not eating so many cold things, then what happens is you begin to feel like you're going to have a cycle. Now, as I said in the beginning, there are certain symptoms, but you may have some of these symptoms as the symptoms of healing, even when you're identifying that you have POF. So when you start to feel you're having a cycle, it's the body's, it's telling you, my hormones, your hormones are working, your hormones are working, we just need to get enough material and we'll be able to have the menses start. So that's the next cycle, the next symptom of your healing. So please understand that you are the only person that can change your hormones. When I was speaking to Emily, she was like, wow, you're right. I changed my own hormonal levels. And she changed them by helping the body to balance better. So this is very important. Premature ovarian failure is actually one of the easiest out of balance conditions for infertility, one of the easiest things to address and to actually be able to see and notate and record the healing stages that you're going through. So the first healing stage you're looking for is less to no hot flashes. The second thing, which could be wrapped up with the first, is more sexual fluids, more cervical mucus. This is a very big deal. And then the third thing is feeling that you're going to have a cycle. I would note it on your calendar. I would see maybe how it relates to the full moon or the new moon. And then if you actually feel like you're going to have a cycle, it's really strong, you feel like it's coming, and it hasn't come, there is an exercise on our YouTube channel called Release the Menses. That's an exercise you do one day. You do 2 or 3 times, and it's very easy to do. It takes 2 or 3 minutes, and what you're basically doing is letting your fingers sink down to the pelvic floor, pulling up the muscles, and then releasing it. Because if you're not having a cycle, in Chinese medicine, there's only 2 reasons. Number 1, you need more blood. Okay, so you're doing everything you can to build the best quality blood in the world. Number 2, there's a stagnation or an energy that's stuck. You know how you feel right before your cycle if it's not balanced. You feel all that PMS. You feel like things are stuck. They're not moving. That's true. There's energy blockage. There's stagnation. And as you heal your body for any condition that you have, that's one of the things that begins to change and happen, is that becomes a better flow of energy in the body. So what the Release the Menses does, if there is just superficial tightness in the reproductive area, in the muscles, that needs to be released so then the blood can come, this will do it. If it didn't come, no worries. You just keep doing what you're doing and know that good things are on their way. But please, please don't feel that it's hopeless, and don't feel a sense of fear about your age or anything. Fear is not what's going to drive your the best program forward. Celebrate. Have gratitude for every little thing that you notice that is indicating that you're healthier and happier and doing better. And for sure, do those radiate energy exercises every single day. They seem like nothing. I had somebody say to me the other day, how come I get so much out of doing nothing every day? It's only 15 minutes out of your day, and it will make a huge difference. The same thing with the hot water detox. The same thing without following the schedule of not having something cold to eat or drink first thing in the morning. That tightens up and shocks the inside of your body. So I really hope that this has addressed some of the fears and worries and angst that you have. Don't be taking the formulas and just thinking that you have no power. What I'm telling you today should make you feel empowered and give you a great sense of power when it comes to what you can do for yourself. I was able to have a baby, get pregnant at 44 years of age after having been trying for 8 to 10 years. And I heard everything you've been told. And this was an answer for me, and it's been an answer for literally thousands of women over the last 20 years. Because once I knew how to do this, even though, of course, things are a little different for different people as they're on their healing journey, I knew that I just had to share this with as many people, many women as I could, because there's no reason for you not to feel you can step up to the plate and change things, because you definitely can. So I hope I see for all of you that this is going to be a great week, a great year, and that all your dreams are coming true. And we're so happy to have a chance to be part of your healing journey. So share this with friends, Make comments below, anything you want to say, and we'll comment back. Use our newsletter. Be sure that if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, you do, the Radiant Wonder Health Report. You can sign up right at the bottom of the website, because this is going to keep you abreast of everything that's happening, and different webinars and different things we're doing, because this is something that we're working on all the time. And it also has a place there. It's called Ask the Herbalist. So you have a burning question, you put it in there. And this webinar today, this question and answer, is the answer for, I guess, 3 or 4 people who had basically the same question. And this is their answer. And I hope that it's been satisfactory. And if you have any more things to say, comment. Have a great day. To your radiant health.